Hey Brent, this is Joel. It was sure great to see you yesterday. I'm just going to play these in chronological order for you as we recorded them yesterday. This is the first swing. Again, the setup looks so much better. And again, you're very close to being dead on that plane line on downswing starting out yesterday. And you hit a few drivers. You can see a little bit of the craziness in the swing there that we started working on when you see these drivers. And remember, a difference you can see here between yours and like something like this. You see how early that club head gets on the plane line, and right here as he starts his downswing when the shaft first shows up, look how much flatter the shaft is when his hands are about neck height on that downswing versus yours. And see, the good news is you've learned the last couple of years, bud, to get that club head back on the plane line on the downswing much better, and that's one of the reasons you've hit it so well, man, the last few months through this warm winter. But look at the difference there and how much his is flatter. And so yours, when it's moving pretty fast here, you know, has kind of a funny route to take, and then it looks different here too as a result. See, his is flatter at that point than yours. And so when you mentioned that you wanted to get it shorter, I said, okay, yeah, man, that's a good idea. Let's see what we can do to get that swing shorter. So we started working on that to get your arms and shoulders together better on the downswing. Yeah, see, that looks fantastic there. Look how much longer your arms are right there than what we saw starting out yesterday, Brent. See how that your left shoulder is way out in front, that right shoulder is really short and cramped in there, and then to get it extended, it has to extend right at the last second there. Whereas over here on our left, see how much more together that looks, which is good through impact. Again, much more conventional there with your release. You see how that release now looks so much more like what we'd see with the vast majority of tour players. Something like that. Something like that. Instead of what we saw starting out yesterday. Right there. Again, I want you to appreciate you played a whole lot of good golf this winter, buddy, with that swing, but to make it better, we want to do the things we talked about in this lesson yesterday. And so, yeah, that's where it started. To get those arms and shoulders together so much better. But then I want you to appreciate how that club face is actually pointed back toward the down the line camera at that point in your swing. Where you see how this club face is pointed at the face on camera. Remember, it's right up there. When I move it, you can see it right there. Right there, you can see it right above the Y. You can see the club face right there. How it's pointed towards us, whereas yours was pointed away from the face on camera, actually toward the down the line camera. Right here, see the face is pointed toward the down the line camera, whereas you look at this, you'd see that face again is pointed more toward the face on camera at that point in the swing. You don't see the face of the club head there. And so we wanted to work on that face. There you go, buddy. Now it's pointed more toward the face on camera, toward us here. Again, more like you'd see there. More like you'd see here. Right there. Right above the Y there on YouTube. You can see it. And then, when you would swing through, that's what it would look like there, buddy. Hugely improved. And then this is what it looked like on the face, or down the line camera. Now you don't see the face so much. Much more normal looking there, buddy. Here again. You can feel those hands working in a much different fashion than what you'd been accustomed to in the past there, Brent. Much nicer look. And you tried to do it without stopping. It didn't quite come off. Didn't quite pull it off. Yeah, see, and so the release looked a little funky. Yeah, it didn't quite come off there. But again, the release, see your head, upper body, a lot of things look a lot more conventional there than when you started out yesterday, Brent. Much more like the tour players, buddy, right there on the new blue. There's their longer arms there at that point on the new blue instead of that short right arm there. And then there your posture is better, head's more in the circle at that point. The release looks more conventional on the new blue there. So again, didn't quite pull it off there. That one's a little better. There you go, buddy. A little better, so a little more of the club face. And this is after altered that grip around so that you can see that right hand is much different there. That's going to tend to make it much easier to get that face more open. Doesn't guarantee it, but it will make it easier. Yeah, buddy. There we go. There we can see a little more of it than what we saw starting out. Yeah, much different there, Brent. So that is a good look there, buddy. Much improved there over where you started yesterday. Much different. And those, of course, those balls would go to the right. But look at that difference there, bud. So it's great work, Brent. Good work, man. Look forward to talking soon. Take care.